So, hello everyone. I hope I'm audible and visible. Please give me a quick thumbs up if my audio video is fine, all of you. And let me see if my audio video is fine or not. All my dear students, welcome to this session of 60 minutes and 60 MCQs in dermatology. It's a very important class. And actually, I've planned this class a little late, and maybe that is the reason that not many of you were aware about this session. So welcome all of you, and let me just give me a second so that I can upload the file. Very nice. So welcome, Dr. Priya Lega. Welcome to this session. Very welcome all of you for this particular session, and I hope everyone, did you go with your result, Dr. Priya Lega? Did you give the NEET PG 2021 because the results are out, and there were amazing results for many students. We have a lot of our students only who got good results. So I hope that everybody gets a good result. So let's begin with the today's session. I'm Dr. Cheshta Agrawal, your NEET PG educator, and you're on the best online platform, that is Unacademy. On Unacademy, we give you two type of subscriptions. One is Plus and another is Iconic. Plus give you an access to live classes of Unacademy from the top educators. And we have an access to around 25,000 plus questions with a printed note facility available. Now we have also giving you Iconic subscription where you can access Unacademy and Prep Ladder together. In Prep Ladder, you have an added advantage of clinical integrated essentials, video lectures, question banks, etc. Now we have a NEET PG Combat that is scheduled or planned for 10th of October, 11 a.m. We will be giving you 45 questions for 60 minutes, and the rank up till 200 will get scholarship. First three will get 100%, and then we have 75%, 50, and 25% scholarship. I request all of you to please get yourself enrolled using the referral code CHEST. Now we have a raise a hand feature that if you have any doubt, you can just raise your hand and ask it out. Very limited time period offer. I request all of you to please subscribe it because it is only till September. So any one of you is targeting for the next year or this year exam, please take Iconic subscription of 1 year using the referral code CHESTA10. From 1st of October, we are expecting a price hike. From 1st October, we are expecting a price hike. Now we have a highly effective question bank of 25,000 plus questions. We are proud of our learners. These are some of our amazing learners. The batches which are starting today is the Target Next batch, the Mission INI-CT batch, then Focus FMG batch, and Clinical Examination and Procedural batch. So these are some batches which are scheduled for today. The longer subscriptions have few offers that if you take a 2-year subscription, 4 months is free. And if you take 12 month, 2 month is free. Now, that's it. I want all of you to please answer the question quickly because we have a lot of questions. We have around 60 or even more questions, and it will be a very rapid fire session for everyone. Starting with the first question, please answer this question. Hypoaesthetic multiple lesions on the right lateral forearm with numerous acid-fast bacilli present in them. What will be the answer? Swat, Niranjan, amazing all of you, very nice. Very well done. Multiple hypoaesthetic hypopigmented macules on the right lateral forearm with numerous acid-fast bacilli is indicative of. Very nice, very nice. Now we have only 33% of the total students who have marked this right. Now, if you remember, like how many of you were live in the today morning YouTube session? What did I tell you? Whenever you get a question from leprosy, if they write few, think about BT and TT. And if they write multiple, then you have to think about BB, BL, and LL. That should be a normal protocol. Now, in BB, you will have asymmetrical involvement of the skin While in BL and LL, you have symmetrical involvement of the skin, which means that the lesions are present bilaterally, symmetrical to each other. And please remember, in BL, you will have associated hypoesthesia, while in LL, there is no decreased sensation. And that is how you can come to a diagnosis of borderline leprosy. Clear, all of you? Please give me a thumbs up if this question is clear to all my dear students. Very important concept. Just remember this trick. If you remember this trick, you can easily solve all the questions in the exam. Okay? Chalo. Let's move to the next question. Lega, Vaishnavi, Riya, Saurabh, Jain, Aradhana, Unnati, Dharni, Harsha, Rameshwar, Yogesh. Very nice, all my dear students. So a 16-year-old student reports with multiple macules on trunk and limb. All of the following are used for making the diagnosis. Please remember, diagnosis of leprosy can never be made by lepromin test because lepromin test depends upon the cell mediated immunity, and cell mediated immunity is absent towards the lepromatous pole. So if you use lepromin test as a diagnostic test, you can never detect a lepromatous leprosy patient. But yes, you can detect the TT, PT or BB pole because the CMI is comparatively stronger. Thank you, Rameshwar. I was here only. I have not gone anywhere. I was just not taking these special classes. I was taking many YouTube sessions if you have attended any of them. And we had a plus class also. So I'm very happy that you have missed me here. And what about all of you? Like anybody have seen their results right now? What scores you all have got? Uh, Anyone? I'm planning for a session today in the evening for what next. The topic will be what next because everybody had their scores with them. So what to do, what to choose. Uh, 401. Okay. So let's see what is the result. What will be the ranks, SWAT. I don't want anyone to get themselves disappointed here. I think my sister got 575. So Saurabh, what is the name of your sister? Because I heard about the till now somebody with 560 something as the highest rank. Let me see what was that uh, score she had. Okay, so 575 is a very good score, and I think 655 is the maximum score till which the students have reached, right? Anybody more than that? And I think Abhirami was our student only, one of our student. She used to come for all our classes. I hope you all remember. She had a score of 655. So we are assuming a very good rank for her. Chalo ji, fine. So for this particular question, the answer is option number 2 because lepromin test is not a diagnostic test. It is only used for prognosis. Very nice, everyone. A lady with bilateral buccal reticulate white streaks. Pain increases on having a spicy food. No history of tobacco but shows amalgams on the third molar. What could be the diagnosis? Very nice. So Madhu, Shubham, Lega, then Vaishnavi, Yogesh, Rameshwar, Riya, Unnati, Anonymous, Saurabh, Priya. Amazing. Please remember the correct answer here is option number 1. And one thing I always tell you, whether you have history of smoking or not, if they clearly mention the presence of amalgam in the tooth, it becomes a classical case of lichen planus. Nothing other than lichen planus should be thought when you see dental amalgam. because that is one of the most important precipitating factor for having the oral lichen planus lesions. Next question, a young boy with leprosy, and you have to tell what should be the treatment here. Very nice. Welcome, Saifuddin, Rajesh, Abhishek, Dr. Sneha, Adrenaline. I hope everybody have got good scores. Many new students I can see now. See, whatever you got, do not think too much. Okay, do not think too much. If it is not good, do not get disappointed. What you have to do now, I will be discussing in the evening session. Today, I'll take a session on what next. Whether you had a bad score, whether you have an amazing score, what should be your next step. We will be taking a session today. So please be live with me for the evening YouTube session. Now, here the answer is option number 2. Please remember, in a child leprosy, the rifampicin dose is 450 mg every month. Clofazimine is 150 mg every month. Dapsone is 50 mg every day, and clofazimine is 50 mg every alternate day. So that remains the sequence. Clear? And the correct answer here becomes option number 2. Coming to the next question. Anyone? Poll is not visible. Is that? Let me start it again. I'm restarting the poll for all of you. I think it is not visible to. Is it visible now? Abhishek? Ciao. Yes. Very nice. The patient with leprosy presents with lesions in 7 days. The lesions are painful, but there is no fever. What is the drug of choice? So this is a case of type 2 lepra reaction. Is that correct? It is a type 1 lepra reaction because the lesions are the existing lesions. And whenever you see the exacerbation of the existing lesion, it becomes a case of type 1 lepra reaction. But whether it is type 1 or type 2, the drug of choice remains always oral corticosteroids. Now, what about the MDT? Will you stop giving the MDT for this patient? Or you will continue giving MDT for this particular patient? Anyone? Alice, Abhishek, Sneha, Nitin, Diksha? Please remember, this year NEET PG 21 question. You continue giving the MDT, and you can add some anti-inflammatory agents like NSAIDs, or you can add corticosteroids to take care of acute inflammation. Next question. Yes, Alice, definitely I would continue. I will be continuing the Target FMG special class, and most probably I will be rescheduling them from 1st of October, 1st October, and the timings which I'm thinking of keeping is the evening sessions, that is somewhere around 3 p.m. to 4 p.m. I hope that is fine with all of you. I'm thinking of keeping the sessions either 3 p.m. to 4 p.m. or 4 to 5 p.m. So these will be the session timings for the next month. No morning sessions from the next month. All the no 11 a.m. session, no 2 p.m. session. All the session will be in the evening only. Now this is a case of Tinea cruris, and when it is Tinea cruris, either trichophyton, microsporum, or epidermophyton, because these are dermatophyte, and only dermatophytic infection is known as Tinea. So Aspergillus is odd one out, and that is why that becomes the answer. Okay, fine, Dr. Sneha, if 4 to 5, because 4 to 5 will be more suitable for me as well. So I'll try to take the session at 4 to 5 or 3 to 4, whatever it is. Only these two slots I'll be choosing. Chalo, very nice. Patient presents with the following lesion. The investigation shows cocci in the long chain. What is your answer? Amazing, all of you. Please remember the correct answer for this particular question is option number 2, not 1. Why? Because here you can see presence of what? Honey colored crust. And honey colored crust is a feature of non-bullous impetigo, which is also known as impetigo contagiosa. Can anybody tell me what is the alternate name for bullous impetigo? Anyone? What is the alternate name of bullous impetigo? We have discussed this question so many times. Bullous impetigo is also known as pemphigus neonatum. Pemphigus neonatorum is the alternate name. Answer here. I hope all of you can see the poll. Is it visible? Okay, so why this is not coming again and again? That is the issue. Is it visible now? Is it visible now? Yes. So please write if you are not able to see the poll, because I don't know why it is not coming right now. Okay, ji. So 6-month-old male infant develops otitis media, and a few days later there is extensive peeling of the skin. No mucosal lesion. The most likely diagnosis would be Vaishnavi, Pogra, Savita, Harshad, Rameshwar, LS, Happy, Priya, Manu, Naveen, Swat. Very nice, all of you. The answer here is staphylococcal scalded skin syndrome. The answer is staphylococcal scalded skin syndrome. Can you tell me what is the main toxin which causes this disease? And what is the target for that particular toxin? Anyone? Yes, it is exfoliative toxin, and the target is desmoglein 1. And that is why you develop subcorneal split. Okay? And that is why you develop subcorneal splitting in these patients. So 6-month male infant develops otitis media, and a few days later he develops extensive peeling of the skin, no mucosal lesion. The most likely diagnosis is option number 2. Next question. Eight-month-old child presented with itchy exudative lesions on face, palm, soles. Sibling also have similar complaints. The treatment of choice for such patient is, can you tell me what is the diagnosis here, anyone? Very nice, Dr. Sneha. This is a classical case of scabies. And for scabies, you have to give 5% topical permethrin. Can anyone tell me what is the mechanism of action? What is the mechanism of action of permethrin? Mechanism of action for permethrin? Yes, it works on sodium channels. Very nice. Okay, and what is the mechanism of action of ivermectin? Mechanism of action of ivermectin, it works on GABA mediated chloride channel. Okay, very nice. Very nice, very nice. Can you tell me what is the cause or what are the organisms causing non-gonococcal urethritis? Anyone? I hope you know that this is a very important topic. I hope everybody knows that it's a very important topic. Good afternoon, Dr. Arush, Salim, Sneha, Priya, Chitra, Rameshwar. So, yes, the commonest being chlamydia. Other are ureaplasma, mycoplasma, and even trichomoniasis. And gonococcal is, as the name suggests, gonorrhea. If you have to choose one drug, always choose azithromycin. Always choose azithromycin as the best drug. Did I start the poll for this question or I again forgot to start the poll? Did I start the poll? Are we done with the poll? Yes. Okay. Okay. So the correct answer is azithromycin. And if you have to give two drugs, can you tell me what are the two drugs? One drug we are clear that is azithromycin. If you have to add one more drug, can you tell me what should be the best combination? Can you tell me what can be the best? Very nice. It should be cefixime, not ceftriaxone. Ceftriaxone is a injectable drug, so you will not give something injectable. 400 mg cefixime plus azithromycin. That should be the combination. Clear? ठीक है जी? Okay. Arush, Yogesh, Lega, Aruna, Vaishnavi, Rameshwar, Saifuddin, Harshad. Very nice, all of you. Very well done. So a Paris woman with the non-tender, indurated, very classical of syphilis. If you remember the mnemonic which I have told you, syphilis, also called as syphilis. Remember, syphilis also called as syphilis. Please give me a thumbs up if you remember this. So syphilis means painless ulcer and painless lymph node. Painless ulcer or painless lymph node. And very nice, Sneha. Do cry is do cry. Hemophilus do cry, which cry out of pain every day. Okay, ji. Chalo. So everybody remembers it. Quickly answer this question. Quickly answer this question. Okay. So a patient of lepromatous leprosy was started on treatment. He develops ENL with fever and he reports a change in the skin color after therapy as shown. Which drug causes it? Please remember, clofazimine is a drug which causes a lot of pigmentation when you start it. Other side effect is dryness and intestinal obstruction. Intestinal obstruction. Can you tell me what are the side effects of thalidomide? teratogenicity. Then we have peripheral neuropathy. Then what do you have? Teratogenicity, peripheral neuropathy, and third, yes, you can have presence of constipation, peripheral edema, somnolence. Somnolence means patient will feel more sleepy. So please remember these few side effects. Another question is on your screen. Please answer this one. Please answer this question. I'll just okay, ji. So young men who presented with asymptomatic macules on the trunk, you have painless lesions on the glands, and you have generalized lymphadenopathy. All these features tells you. Can you tell me what is the diagnosis here? Which stage of syphilis is this? This is a secondary stage of syphilis. Now everybody is right that the answer is benzathine penicillin, but can you tell me what should be the dosage? What should be the dosage of benzathine penicillin you will be giving in this patient? Okay, so 2.4 million international unit. And what should be the frequency? Please remember, you will give a stat dose. You will give a stat dose. 7.2 million international unit is a dose for tertiary syphilis. Understood, Pragya? Clear? Clear or not? Very nice. Next question. Okay, ji. So can you tell me what is the diagnosis here? What is the diagnosis? Okay, so here you have a molluscum contagiosum. Okay, and molluscum contagiosum is a pox virus, which is a DNA virus. Understood, all of you? Molluscum contagiosum is a pox virus, which is a DNA virus. Now, can you tell me one thing? There are 4 type of molluscum contagiosum virus, which is the most common one. Okay. Can you tell me which is the most common one? We have 4 types of MCV virus. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Can anybody tell me? This was a pediatric question, very frequently asked. Yes, mommy duties, I know. Today she's getting very cranky. I'm having actually classes since the morning, so she's standing outside. Okay, ji. Dr. Sneha, Rameshwar, Arush, nobody have told me the exact answer. MCV, which strain is the commonest one? Please remember. MCV1. MCV1 is the most common cause of molluscum contagiosum virus. Okay, Sneha? So please do not forget this. This is very, very important. Okay, we have another question. Very nice. We just discussed this. Yes, but let me see how many of you can apply it. See, we have just discussed this and only 57% could have applied this. Can you tell me what drug we are talking about here? What drug is this? Yes, this is our drug thalidomide, and this is how you will get the peripheral neuropathy clinical questions. Understood, Rameshwar? So, peripheral neuropathy, they will give you an exam like this, that a patient had increased numbness of hand and feet. Okay? Clear? Chalo, badhiya. We have another question, and that is on your screen. First of all, tell me what is the diagnosis here. First of all, tell me what is the diagnosis. Anybody? Shubham, very nice. But tell me what is the diagnosis. Neha, Mayank, Pavan. Okay. So Sneha is saying that it is candida. Can you tell me what type of candida? This is oral mucosa, so it is oral mucosal candidiasis. But what type? Acute pseudomembranous, chronic pseudomembranous, acute erythematous, chronic erythematosus, atrophic, hypertrophic, pearlish. What type of candidiasis is this? Very nice, Dr. Sneha. This is an example of acute erythematous candidiasis. The problem is actually this. This is not the problem. The problem is this. So here you have a bald patch on your tongue, which is red in color, very classical of acute erythematous candidiasis. And you see this in HIV patient. As soon as you see this, you will straight away go and start antifungals because it can go deeper, can involve the esophagus also. So although, like, even if you have considered this as the problem area, you would have marked option number 1 only. But please remember, the problem here is, can you see this bald area? On the sides, you can see the dermal papilla. Sorry, the papilla of your tongue, but on the center, there is no papilla. So that is how you differentiate where is the pathology. Clear all of you with this question? Okay? Chalo. Very nice. Child present with the image shown, what could be the diagnosis? Very nice, Neha, very nice. Satellite lesions, that is something which is very important, and that is why we have marked the answer option number 3. Very nice, Shubham, Arush, Sneha. Then we have Vaishnavi, Akshat, Aruna, Savita. Oh, very well done, all my dear students. Okay, ji. Now we have one more question. Now, this is a little interesting question, that a patient develops itchy wheals, physical physical exertion, walking in the sun. Any of you feels that, like, have you ever noticed the same thing yourself? Any one of my student here? Because that happens to me. Like whenever I run or when I climb somewhere, whenever there's a lot of sweat, you tend to feel itchy. And the concept is the same concept here. Okay. The concept is the same concept here. So first of all, tell me, what is the center? What is the center? Anyone can tell me the center? I'm very, very sorry for this disturbance today. My daughter is getting little cranky. Okay, so the center for having these features are the hypothalamus. What happens whenever there is physical exertion? there is increase in the core body temperature. So whenever there is increase in the core body temperature, it sends the signals to the hypothalamus. Yes, which is the temperature regulatory center. Can you tell me in hypothalamus what is that center, or which is that center? It is the preoptic area. It is the preoptic area which is the center on the hypothalamus. Now what happens? The hypothalamus will send the signals through acetylcholine, and these acetylcholine will then work on the sweat glands to release sweat, and when the body releases the sweat, it causes the cooling down of the body. But at the same time, what does this acetylcholine do? It will go and degranulate the mast cell, causing the itching or urticaria, and that is known as cholinergic urticaria. Understood the concept? So whatever thing increases the core body, like whenever you are angry, yes, your body temperature increase. When you eat hot, spicy food, when you walk in the sun, and physical exertion. Can you tell me what should be your treatment approach here? What drugs you have to give? Anyone? Yes, you have to give anticholinergic drugs. You can also give antihistaminics, but anticholinergics would be a better option because the main triggering factor is acetylcholine. Very nice, Rameshwar. Absolutely right. Next question is on your screen. Very nice, very nice. Arush, Vaishnavi, Harshad, Sneha. I'm very happy that you all understood this question. So the question says that a patient presents with white forelock of the skin and there is presence of the pigmented macules in between these depigmented areas. This is very, very classical of piebaldism. Can anybody tell me what is Waardenburg syndrome? Yes, that is my next question, Dr. Sneha. Can you tell me what differentiate piebaldism from Waardenburg syndrome? Anybody? Please remember, for putting it under the Waardenburg syndrome, you should have features of piebaldism. Yes, plus sensory neural hearing loss. So this is very important for labeling it as Waardenburg. You have another features like dystopia canthorum. You have another feature which is known as dystopia canthorum. So all these features are very, very important for Waardenburg. Can you tell me what is the Chidak-Higashi syndrome? It's a variant of oculocutaneous albinism where you have List gene defect. Very nice. And what is Grillisali? You have defective distribution of the melanin because of myosin gene defect. Okay? So you have myosin gene defects which is seen in Grillisali syndrome. चले आगे दूसरे क्वेश्चन पे. Should we go to the next question? Everyone? Okay. Pure image based, nothing more than this. Very nice, very nice. A child had hyperpigmented patches with hairs on the cheek, and what could be the diagnosis? Okay. So congenital melanocytic nevus, it is a nevide which, can you tell me this is a nevus, it remains like that throughout the life. Can you tell me only one thing which you have to mention to the patient that it can have that? So you have to come for a regular checkup. Anyone? Any risk with respect to this? Very nice. Please remember the giant congenital melanocytic nevus can convert into malignant melanoma, and because of this, patient has to be asked that he always have or should come for a regular checkup, so that if you see any change in the size, shape, color, you can suspect melanoma and you can remove that part. Okay. Hypertrichosis, that is because the nevus cells, they have hairs, follicles in them, and that is why they grow hairs. Other than that, there is no significance for this. Okay, Rameshwar? You have hair, but it has no significance with malignancy. But the lesion itself can change subsequently in development of malignancy later. Chalo ji, very nice. Here, 3-year-old with depigmented patches on the median aspect of both foot, feathery margins, physical examination normal. How will you treat this patient? Very nice, Shubham, Lega, Vaishnavi. What is the diagnosis here? Feathery margins means like this, and this is always a feature of vitiligo. Very nice. Always a feature of vitiligo, and vitiligo is what? It's an autoimmune condition. So you will give a drug which reduces the autoimmunity, and that is steroids, calcineurin inhibitors, phototherapy. There is no role of keratolytic agent, which is tretinoin. Understood? Tretinoin is a keratolytic agent which works very well on acne. It works very well on acne. Amazing, all of you. Please read it carefully. Which statement is correct? Shubham, Lekha. Now I request all these students, those who have not achieved good in their NEET PG, like those who feel that their score is not what they were expecting, I will recommend them to please target INI-CT now, because there's not much time. Do not just lose hope that अब तो कुछ नहीं हो सकता, we have to plan for next month, next year. Do not think like that. Please start again for INI-CT. Give it your last shot. What if you get a good rank in INI-CT? ठीक है? And do not think that यार अगर नीट में ही नहीं हुआ तो INI में क्या होगा? That is not the case. ठीक है? You won't believe, there are many of our friends, my colleagues, who were like a very average student in their class. They got amazing ranks in our AIMS and JIPMET. Okay, because when we were students, there were no INI-CT. We had separate papers, right? So do not underestimate yourself. Okay, ji? Clear? Now, can you tell me what is the diagnosis? What is the diagnosis here? Very nice. It is melasma, also known as cloasma or mask of pregnancy. Now, it is related to a lot of things like sunlight, pregnancy, hormones, drugs, OCPs, etc. Clear, all of you? So option number 1 is absolutely right. Now please remember, it do not heal spontaneously. You have to add something. This will not get improved automatically. Either give some depigmenting agent or give some drugs which stop the effect of OCPs or all this. And you need to evaluate only one organ or one endocrine system, that is thyroid, which is already given in the question. So there is no need of evaluation of other endocrine system, and that is why all these 3 statements are actually incorrect. The only correct statement which we have is option number 3, that it will aggravate with subsequent pregnancy. Understood this point? Clear? Everyone? Very nice. melanocytic nevi, Baker's nevus, sebaceous nevus, or comedone nevus? Amazing, all of you. I think this is the easiest question. It's a epidermal melanocytic nevus, which usually occurs during adolescence. And you have associated here, you have associated acne, mainly present over the trunk, and it becomes increase or it increases in size during puberty. So all these features are pointing towards the diagnosis of Baker's nevus. Anyone for this? Very nice. Harshad, Ranolazine, Lega, Bachu, Rameshwar, Alter. Which of the following is the epidermal melanin disease? Which of the following is the epidermal melanin disease? The answer of this question is option number 2 and 3. If you remember, nevus of Ota, Mongolian spot, or nevus of Ito, they are dermal melanocytic disease. So this is nevus of Ota, this is nevus of Ito, and Mongolian spot is present on the lumbar area. All these are blue in color and they are dermal pigment, while Freckle and Baker's, they are epidermal melanin disease. Clear with this question? All of you? But yeah. Another question is here on your screen. Very nice. Arush, Sneha, Alter, Lega, Savita, Bachu, Yogesh, Dharan. Very nice. Remember that the answer for this particular question is option number 3. Whenever you see colloidal membrane, only two things should come into your mind. One is the lamellar ichthyosis, and can you tell me any other ichthyosis which presents with colloidal membrane? Anyone? Any other sort of ichthyosis which presents with colloidal membrane? Anyone? So please remember the answer is non-bullous ichthyosiform erythroderma. NBIE. Non-bullous ichthyosiform erythroderma. Both these ichthyoses have colloidal membrane in the baby at the time of birth. Clear? Very nice. Now this is a very classical image of the answer here. Very classical image. Tell me what is the color of the pigment? Anyone? Madhuri, Jayesh, what is the color here? Yes, it is purple or violet or blue. I think everybody agrees with me. Now, whenever you have purple or blue or violet color, it means that melanin is inside the dermis. And can you tell me which among the following option has the melanin inside the dermis? Where do you see melanocyte falling down inside the dermis? That is the answer, which is lichen planus. Can anybody tell me why the pigment falls inside the dermis in lichen planus? What are those empty spaces known as from which the pigment falls? So you tend to develop empty spaces which are known as Max Joseph space, and through these empty spaces the pigment fall down, giving rise to bluish discoloration of the skin. And this variant is known as lichen planopigmentosus. This is known as lichen planopigmentosus. ठीक है जी? Lichen planopigmentosus. Oh, very well done, very well done. And okay ji. So another question is on your screen. Very nice. So pseudohyphae in a HIV patient, white plaque, it means oral. Candidiasis, it means oral candidiasis. Okay, and whenever you see this, you have to treat the patient with antifungal drugs. Next question. Amazing. Can you tell me the name of the disease? What is the name of the skin lesion you develop in the particular deficiency? What is the answer here? Very nice. The answer is phrinoderma, which is follicular keratotic lesions on the extensors, phrinoderma, also known as toad skin. Okay, this year NEET PG question. This year NEET PG question. As well as I think it was an INICT or one more exam you had the same question. I think INICT, not NEET PG. I hope you remember, all of you. Okay, ji. Very nice, very nice. Okay. So a recently tried drug for basal cell carcinoma is Vismodegib and Sonidegib. Now these work on sonic hedgehog pathway. Can you tell me where do you use crisaborole? What is the mechanism of action and where do you use crisaborole? Anyone? Please remember it's a phosphodiesterase inhibitor. It is the phosphodiesterase inhibitor and it is used for atopic dermatitis. Apremilast is again phosphodiesterase inhibitor used in psoriasis. And brodalumab is IL-17 receptor blocker, which is again used in psoriasis. Any confusion, anyone? I can see one confusion, Mala Smiley. What is the confusion? Phosphodiesterase inhibitor, PGE4 inhibitor, crisaborole, apremilast. Well, brodalumab is IL-17 receptor blocker. Okay? Any confusion? Any confusion? Should I go to the next question? I hope there's no confusion. Chalo ji, fine. Very well done. Now, please remember the drug which is or the HLA which is very, very important before you start any patient with carbamazepine is HLA B1502. Can you tell me HLA B5701 is important for abacavir? We have discussed this. And what about 5801? This also you should know. Okay, very close. Allopurinol. Okay, not phenytoin. So abacavir, allopurinol, then this was carbamazepine, and CW6 is for the early onset of psoriasis or guttate psoriasis. Clear? Now, similar to this, you need to know some ATP. Can you tell me ATP 7B is related to what? Anyone? ATP 7A is related to what? ATP 2A2, ATP 2C1, and ABCC6. So फटाफट से आंसर करते जाओ, very important. 7B, very correctly said, Wilson's. A is for Minky Kinky disease. Both of them have copper metabolism. ठीक है? 2A2, Darius disease, and C1 is for Haley disease. What about ABCC6? Anyone? I will give you a virtual chocolate for ABCC6. Let me check if I have the chocolate or not. I'll courier the chocolate to you. Can you tell me what is ABCC6 for? It is for pseudoxanthoma elasticum, where you have elastic fiber defect. The skin becomes loose. You have classical Moroccan leather deformity. 12 students have confusion. Any confusion? ABCC6 is pseudoxanthoma elasticum. समझ गए? Yes or no? Pseudoxanthoma elasticum. Yes. So you have multiple gene defects in pseudoxanthoma elasticum. One is MRP6. You have also ABCC6. So there are multiple gene defects, but a very important one is ABCC6. Okay. So try to remember all of them. This also, these are some of the numerology based questions you'll get in your exam. ठीक है जी, चलो, amazing. I think this will be the last question because we are almost done with our 1 hour session. Amazing, all of you. ठीक है जी, very nice, very nice. So the correct answer for this particular question, as very correctly said, if you see Staphylococcus and if you see the feature like mycetoma, it's a case of Botryomycosis. It's the case of Botryomycosis. Yes, it's a misnomer. Very right, Dr. Sneha. It is a misnomer. So with this, we are done with the today's session. I'm very happy that we had a lot of students. I was not expecting even 30 students today in the class because the results are out. So maybe the students are very, very happy and maybe they are very sad. So I was not expecting good strength. Now, please, those who are targeting the next year exam, take it today or tomorrow because tomorrow is the last day for this offer. And those who haven't got a good score, do not get disappointed. Try to focus on the INI-CET batch, which we are starting today. Okay? So, Dr. Arush, please do not get disappointed. You still have a chance. You have only 1 month left to your INI-CET. And trust me, it's not like that if you cannot score in NEET PG, you cannot score in INI-CET. That is not the case. Try to pick up your weak points, wherever you have made the mistakes in NEET PG. Try to pick up those points and try to cover that up. Okay. 1 month is sufficient. You can even take or join this batch course if you are a plus subscriber. Take a 1 month subscription of Unacademy and try to solve your weaker areas in a better way. So I hope Arush, you will be there. Sort of fear that what type of paper will come so uncertain. See, please remember, Arush, if you think about the paper, you will not able to crack it. क्या होगा क्या नहीं होगा वहां तक नहीं जाने का अपन को. Just prepare yourself to the best. See, when I was giving my paper, I was very confused कि भाई क्या करें because I was taking a drop. With internship, I was getting ENT and I was not into ENT. I wanted some good branch. So I was reading and I was not sure that because that was the first time we got NEET PG exam. And it was very difficult for us to think ki what is this NEET PG. Plus, please remember, whatever you do, your mind should think that you are giving your 100%. If that is the condition, trust me, you will crack your exam, चाहे कुछ भी आए. ठीक है? Understood, Dr. Arush? So please do not, make this fear overcome your thought process. Try to prepare. अभी भी you have a month. एक साल का मत सोचो. Do not think of dropping. If you have bad scores, try to prepare for INI-CT as well. ठीक है जी? चलो. So thank you all of you. We'll meet again. I think today one more session I will be planning in the night. So I'll be seeing you there as well. Bye bye. Good day and take care.